I'm eating ice cream. I can't help it. This is good ice cream. All right. That was good. I hardly ever eat ice cream, but that's good. Okay. Finally, we're back in Final Fantasy XIV. My name is Caffeine Injected, and continuing the series of a WoW player who's played WoW for a long time, trying out Final Fantasy XIV. And so far, I must say, I really like it. I'm liking it a lot more this time around than I did the first time around. Let me put this ice cream away. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Of course, the server's full. It's always full. but I leveled up. What? Did that just say I leveled up? No, it said something. I don't know. Open no. Where the heart? I don't really know what this daily roulette thing is, but we're gonna try it. Hopefully, it's a. I need to force myself to learn all these dungeons. See. I don't. What's that? I don't know if the star next to my name, that little square, means I'm like in a queue for the sync. To the Oh, hey Sonic, what's up, dude? I get comfortable and then you gotta use the bathroom. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. I get down, I get a drink, I'm gonna stream, and then I'm like, oh crap, you know what? I need to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? I put the wife into bed, tucked her in. Then I had to like feed the cats, and then and then I had to. It was just like one thing after another. And finally, I'm get on the computer, and then I'm like, oh, I need a drink. Yeah, I'm getting plus 80 experience. I don't know what this symbol next to my name means, the blue one. Fate complete. And let's see. Oh, yeah, I was going in manually. Oh, here we go. Daily rep. Oh man, I hope they're. I'm doing. I'm still so new to this game. These dungeons are like, ah. I don't. Hopefully, it's one I've already done. Which I don't know if it is. I'm gonna guess it's not. Maybe. Because it's showing me this cinematic. Oh no, I have done this dungeon. I'm gonna skip this cutscene just because I've seen it before. And why does that not work? Actually, oh, an action not yet learned. Okay, I thought I had learned that one. I guess I hadn't. Because I copied my settings for my other character. I have abilities down here on these bars that I haven't even learned yet. So. Okay. Sometimes the targeting is a little wonky. Like maybe the tab targeting works okay though. So. Seem to have picked up some ads here. We're getting some big heals though from the Barbaros back there. I'd be curious to play a healing job and see what that's like in this game. That'd be kind of cool. I think that looks like fun, you know, healing and on these runs. Shit, I screwed that up. I leveled up. Level 8. What level? It says 18, but. Oh, Reptilian. I couldn't help it, Reptilian. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying the game, dude. I'm enjoying the game, Reptilian. And I'm trying to learn the game, you know what I mean? You created, you're going mage. So you started a new character, like a whole new character, like completely entirely new? Yeah, I think it's, for me, it was good to start, start from fresh, for the stream and just, because, I didn't really remember everything I'd learned from the last time I played, so I figured it was best to just start fresh. Totally new, nice. Well, I'm on the server. If you look in the stream set description, it says what server I'm on. I'm on Jenova. I think it's called Jenova. Is the realm, I guess. The data center is the Aether. The data center is Aether, and the world is Jenova. Oh, nice, sweet. I'm trying to attack this girl, and that's not the right person. Sorry, lady. Yeah, there's been a small queue almost every single time I've logged in. It's usually just like 20 people. Same thing on the other server I played on my other character. There's about the same. There's always a queue. There's a queue this time when I logged in. In fact, I'd say there's a queue pretty much 90% of the time when I log in. There's a queue, but it's always only takes a couple minutes. Like a minute, sometimes less than that. Or is locked tight. I think I screwed out. It looked like somebody opened it up. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, this game is... I think a lot of people are coming to Final Fantasy right now, like a ton. Like, it was busy before when I played it, but it's way more busy now than it was the last time I played. You know? Oh, wow, I haven't seen that, but honestly, I haven't really been looking at people's names. I've been pretty like focused on like just what I'm doing. I haven't really tried to take in too much like other characters' names. Even when I'm in groups, I barely even recognize the names of the characters I'm with. I'm so focused on trying to tank correctly because I'm like so new. I'm like, I don't want to be a complete moron. I hope you catch me. You usually level a lot faster than I do, so you probably will. And you know the game better than me too, right, Reptilian? I think you know it better than me. So, and I'm not trying to level fast. I am and I'm not. I'm trying to go through the MSQ pretty quickly, but I'm thinking about doing some crafting because I really like crafting in this game. So I'm thinking about picking up blacksmithing and maybe doing some mining too. So that'll slow me down a little bit. I did a little bit the last on my other character, and I actually found that it was really like different, and it was really kind of enjoyable. I actually really liked it. Oh, oh, creepy guy. Not the best music, like, for a dungeon. But it's okay, I guess. Okay. So that was like the duty roulette thingy that you should do, like, I guess once a day, because it gives you like a ton of experience. And you can see it looks like, if I'm reading that right, it looks like I went from level 27. If I'm right, I think I was 27 when I went in there, and I'm 29, so I think it gave me an entire level. Like, that's crazy. So I'm actually the same level as my other character, Reptilian, that I created. So I've just about surpassed. This is like the highest level I've ever gotten a character in Final Fantasy. But what's interesting is I don't have this skill yet. Wait, let's see. Maybe I got it now. Now I've got it. And this is a third chain in this third skill in the chain. So but now we have a 3-skill combo, which is good because that last one does a lot of damage. So. I'm going to do this fate. Let's just... I think I need to do probably the next class quest, I'm sure. Maybe there's not any more class quests. I don't really know. Level 50 melt. Oh my goodness, run away. Whoa. I guess I shouldn't have tried to take on a level 50. Oh. Oh, I'm a long way from the steps of Nald. So that was a bad decision for me to attack that guy. That was a really bad decision because now I'm going to have to port back. Although this does gives me a chance to check out my class quest. To see if there is one. I like the music in Udall. Now let's see what level. This will tell me what level. Okay, level 30. So next level, we'll be able to pick that up. Because I'm 29 now. Not attuned. No! I really screwed myself. Alright, well I need to pick up all these other crystal attunement locations. Nice, we upgraded. My gear's already better than what my other character ever had. So we've... Okay. You notice anything, Reptilian? Reptilian, look at how vibrant the colors look. See how vibrant the colors look? That's because of that G shade. Let's go with 30. I think even this is bad. I think this area in general is kind of vibrant in color, so we're going to go with 34 on that setting. Okay, so we're going to try to get this attunement crystal here. We can. Yeah, Reptilian, if you look at my gear sets, these are carried over from my other character, but if you look, I had a gear set for armory and I had a gear set for mining, so I actually had specific, gear that I wore when I was crafting, armory crafting, and I had specific gear that I wore when I was mining. Or no, I'm sorry. Sort of. It's not really gear, it's more just these are different jobs that I had. I had the job of I guess these are different jobs, so... You also had to switch to that. There was different gear, but you were basically switching jobs as well. This is a housing quest. And these are the houses I want to get. I want my house to be in... It says wouldn't want to have a house in the... You know, in the forest, which is what I want. And I'm also a twin eder. I'm also aligned with the twin editors. So that's cool. I'm going to deviate from my main quest, MSQ, to actually try to do this quest here, which is the Where the Heart Is. This is probably my favorite zone in the game, by the way, guys. Yeah, I'm definitely taking my time, but this is my favorite zone, Reptilian. I love this area over here, this outdoor zone with all these flowers and these really cool buildings. And it's my favorite. This is the zone that feels the most open to me as well because there's not as many barriers. I can kind of jump in the stream and jump over rails and stuff. There aren't as many invisible barriers. Let's see. Are you wishing about the auctions? Very well. Allow me to explain. There's a growing concern our immigration policies have been a tad restrictive in the past, and so the seats of your council and the Order of the Twin Adder have, with their blessing, also decreed that the lavender beds be set aside for adventurers who possess the necessary funds to purchase and maintain their estates. Should you look upon the beds with your own eyes, though, I think you'll agree it is well worth the price. Have a word with the skipper over yonder, she'll ferry you across. Let's take a look at what these look like. Ooh, look at these pretty... Oh. This game has like the best emotes. This game has like the best emotes probably out of any game I've ever seen. And the fact that you have multiple modes for different positions. So there's like this sitting pose, there's this one, and there's this one. So there's 3 different ones. That's so cool. Anyways, I think it looks like that's all we need to do for the quest. I think we need to go back. I've never really swam before. What's this crazy looking guy doing? Am I wet? Yeah, look. I think I'm supposed to be wet, right? Can't tell. Maybe that's just my normal armor. I like the music here too. I'm sure one day my dreams will come true to fruition. She wanted to get her own flat of land, but they said you have to be an adventurer to get one, and she's not an adventurer. One day I'll have my own cottage and stables filled with my beloved chocobos. Yeah, this is without a doubt my favorite zone so far in the game. I like this one. I'm just kind of exploring right now. He's dreaming about his girlfriend or something. Yeah, I think when you play this game, you have to take your time. You really have to take your time and read almost all the quest text and really just enjoy the game. You know, Asmongold was talking about playing Final Fantasy. He tweeted he was going to, and he said he probably will within the next, week to 4 weeks. Because he's trying to finish up some Burning Crusade content. Look how beautiful this area looks, though. I mean, I really, really like this particular area. This is my favorite. This is Without a doubt, favorite zone so far, but beautiful. But he's talking about playing Final Fantasy, and of course he doesn't. Oh, I thought it said Rob Hawthorne. That's the name of my old boss I used to have. It said Rosa Hawthorne. All right, so how close are we? I want to get to here, to this crystal, so we can go ahead and get attuned. Let's head that way. But yeah, Asmongold said he's going to play, so it would be hilarious if he plays and really likes it, because he's been pretty negative about Final Fantasy. You know, saying the cat girls and, oh god, cat women, you know, making fun of things. And you want to see something funny, Reptilian? I've been watching this streamer because she does a lot of content for Final Fantasy. And I guess recently, just 4 weeks ago, they announced this something, so.
Talking about.
One more thing.
So here we go.
Wait, no. Don't play with my heart like that.
This is the Final Fantasy Fan Fest just like 4 weeks ago.
What are you talking about?
One more thing before the CEO arrives. We have a video, so please check it out.
Wait. No. Wait.
Yeah, I just found out about Zepla recently. I didn't really know her, but she does a lot of content for Final Fantasy, and some of her videos are not so good, but some of them are good. I just watched one called 15 Ways Final Fantasy is Better Than WoW, and it's actually like 100% accurate. Like all her ones on there are true. You know, and I've played Final Fantasy enough now that I can honestly say, and after my 17 plus years of playing WoW, you know, I can say that, yeah, you know, these are better in Final Fantasy. Not to say they're bad in WoW, just Final Fantasy does them better.
That's Viera feet. That's what I think it is, isn't it? Oh my god! What? Oh my god!
She flips out because they announced that they're going to do these male Vieras with bunny ears, which, you know, I really don't want to play a male character with bunny ears, but she flips out. She literally has a meltdown in this video. And a lot of times when you see people do reactions, you feel like, well, they're just making this up to make it look like they're excited. But I watched a video of hers after this one, like 2 weeks later, and when she started talking about the males, you could see her like freaking out again. Like she was getting all excited. I'm like, oh man, she wasn't faking it. She really does get excited about, for some reason, women get excited about men with bunny ears. I don't really get it myself, but it's pretty funny. But this one here is the one I watched today. It's actually really good.
I talked about ways that I thought Final Fantasy XIV could maybe take some things from World of Warcraft that I think might be good over there. And so to restore balance in the Force, we have to now look at the ways that really Final Fantasy XIV is straight up better. First one, obviously, story. The character development is light years better. The writing is much better.
In this
game,
I absolutely love this little area right here. This is one of the coolest. This is the coolest camp I think I've seen so far. I love this building here. Look at the detail on these hand carved and, you know, cut down beams of wood that they've turned into this big, almost like log cabin. I love the detail here. This is really cool. Quest here too. And when I played before, I was doing a lot of these quests because I didn't know any better. I mean, I didn't know it was best just to do the MSQ. I had no idea. So I was like going in and talking to these guys and like and doing like all these quests. But now I know that I guess for your main character, you really don't need to do that because it's slower. Now these blue ones here, these blue quests are worth looking at. Let's see what this one's going to do. It says levy, so it could be more levies. Seeking for adventures to undertake. So this is guild levies. So I'm going to decline this one, but because it's just those guild levies. But guild levies were supposed to be some system that was going to revolutionize the MMO genre or something. But I still don't really understand the guild levies really, other than they're just seems like to be just another type of quest, you know.
People do bad things because they have interesting motivations, except Xenos, and they're not just.
She talks here how the characters, the story in Final Fantasy is a lot better, but that in World of Warcraft, like a lot of the main stories are kind of they're kind of cheesy. You know, like, oh, these people touched some green oo and they became evil and they became corrupted and now they're bad. And these people touched the purple goo and now they became corrupted and they're bad. You know, so it's pretty funny.
Doing bad things because
Arme, what's up, dude?
Green fell. Oh, or they touched the red nightmare, so they're bad now. Oh, or they touched the purple stuff, and now they love the old gods, so they're corrupted. Like all this corruption, I'm so sick of it, and it's so lazy. It's so boring that somebody got corrupted, and so now they're bad. That's why they made the bad choices. You know, that's so lame, and it's not interesting, and it just feels like throwing away characters that could have had potential. In Final Fantasy XIV, characters have depth. I'll never forget turning in 20 missiles.
Is she like from Texas or something? I can't place her accent. It sounds kind of country.
Characters have depth. I'll never forget turning in 20 mistletoe. You know, that's so lame, and it's not interesting, and it just feels like throwing away characters that could have had potential. In Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV, she kind of. Long day. Yeah, my day was long too, and I didn't get all my code done today that I wanted to get done, unfortunately. Which means I'm going to be working my butt off tomorrow. Is it Ukraine? She's got a weird accent, dude.
Characters have depth. I'll never forget turning in 20 mistletoe as part of a botanist quest, and the guild instructor said, "War is inevitable. This I understand. But by aiding the war effort, we do not merely contribute to the suffering, we profit from it. No better than the parasitic mistletoe, we suck the life out of the trees that shelter us for our own personal gain." This was actually a really beautiful series of...
For our own personal gain. The way she said that personal gain was definitely... That's probably why I couldn't place it. If she is Ukrainian and she's just speaking English with a Ukrainian accent, that could be why it sounds like that. And that could also be why I couldn't quite place the accent, because I don't really know a lot of Ukrainians.
Quest, not just this one quest, but this was a moment from it that I decided to screenshot. The guildmaster Fufucha is wrestling with her sense of ethics regarding, you know, her responsibility as the leader of the botanist guild and her...
Yeah, we're going to skip through all that. She's just talking about how the story is the top 15 things, or not the top 15 things that make Final Fantasy better than World of Warcraft. The first one was story. Number 2...
good. Story real good. Okay, next one. It's the dev approach. And communication with people. So in the World of Warcraft community, I often sense that there is a aura of hostility between the devs and the players. It's like they're constantly at war, constantly clashing. The devs have their idea of how they want the game to be played, and the players have their idea of how they want to play the game, and it seems like they're just always at odds. World of Warcraft devs have been better at actually talking to the community, but that doesn't mean that they're actually listening. To give you a concrete example, just looking forward into Shadowlands, there's the Covenant system. So you pick a Covenant, and the Covenant provides some pretty outfits for you, but the Covenant will also provide its own talent tree.
God, look at how ugly that armor is in World of Warcraft. When they came out with the Covenant stuff and the Shadowlands armor, I just absolutely hated it. I was like, this is some of the worst looking armor I've ever seen. I mean, look at that armor. That is hideous. Adventurer, what are you doing out here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. So this is a downed airship that they sent me out to help, because they went down, I guess, in a hostile territory. So that's why I'm out here on this quest. The Adder's Nest sent you. How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? Peace, friend. You are an engineer of the Garland Ironworks, are you not? We are alerted to your plight. We've come to rescue you. Are you a are you a meadow? And you are Meadowfall, I presume. I was told to expect an honorary serpent. My thanks for your aid, friend. Yeah, they get crazy with the size of the pauldrons, and they're just. But it's all. She talks about the gear in the video, so we'll talk about that when it gets to that in the video, and she makes some good comments, pretty decent comments. But the gear in Final Fantasy is way better, like so much better. Never seen a craft of this design. It must be Garland's work. Is there no end to this man's treachery? The secrets of Magitech belong in the Imperial hands. They are not to be squandered on Eorzean savages. We are taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. Poor engineer. Imperial scouts from Castrum Orient. They need to requisition the ship. Wedge, you have to help him. That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. The tiny Bronco, but isn't that the Ironworks' latest creation? It's the first airship we've built since the Calamity, the first since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first test flight, and she was soaring, she really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. All the Ironworks latest creations fall into the Garlandian hands. We shall strike them swift and sure and rescue Engineer Wedge. Yes, you can trust me. Yes, I'll help, of course. Let's do it. Yeah, that music was... The combat music's really bad. Biggs. Turnip head. The auxiliary propeller is a dead loss, but I think we can bring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. Okay, we'll watch your retreat. As for Meadow, you have done more than your part today. I bid you return to Adder's Nest and complete your enlistment. I pray without further interruptions. I want to say, I'm sorry for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Haha, seriously though, if I hadn't been for you and the Twin Adder lads there, we'd be changed up in a dungeon by now. We're in your debt, my friend. We both are. Ah.
Trees, not
There's that ugly armor you were talking about, Arme.
talent tree might not be good for your class or your spec. But what if you still want the pretty glamour from that covenant? Well, now you're being forced to make a
She's calling World of Warcraft transmogs glamour.
crappy choice between, do you want the glamour or do you want to pick a covenant that's going to be better for you? And I think this puts players in an unfortunate position. There's been a lot of outcry about this, but the devs for World of Warcraft have said, well, it's all going to be balanced enough, and players aren't going to discriminate on other players because they picked the bad covenant. Yeah, right. The devs have said, just trust us. It's
Yeah, right. They won't discriminate.
It's all gonna be balanced and it's going to be fine.
Sure.
But I don't know. It feels like there's a war. There's an argument always. There's always this argument going on between what the players want, and how the players want the game to be, and how the devs want the game to be, and it's just constant clashing. Meanwhile, in Final Fantasy XIV, I feel like the devs, instead of trying to force their way of how they want the game to be played onto players, they watch how players play, or they probably play themselves, and they work with that. They go with the flow. They don't go against the flow. They go with it. And if players have a huge backlash against something, like one time we had gear randomly rolling for very high stats in Diadem back in the day, and nobody liked it. It was basically like Titan forging in 14. Everybody got mad, and so they got rid of it just like that. They listened to the backlash, and they said, "Oh, you don't like that? Okay, let's get rid of it." If something happens that makes players upset in 14, like when the time that people's butts got nerfed, they will say, "Oops, that was our mistake." They'll tell us immediately what's going on, why it happened, and how they're going to fix it to make everybody happy. It's not like this war at all.
What is this over here?
For us.
This is the bad guy. This is the bad guys, right?
They should be working for us because we're the ones paying.
What are they called?
It's just so refreshing to feel like the devs have my back, the devs care, and the devs just want us all to have fun. Next up, the game balance and job viability. My God, what a breath of fresh air it has been in Final Fantasy XIV. For every time a new player comes in my stream and asks, what is the OP job or what is the underpowered job, I can just say, none. Go play a job and be good at it, and
that's
the
cast room.
This is one that
so this is the evil guys, the Empire. What are they called? Is it I always get confused. There's the Gridanians, which is the good guys, right? And then there's the Garnians, that's the bad guys. I always hate it when they have names that are similar. I never like that. I would prefer they make the names more different so it's easy to remember which is which. Anyways, let's get on with this quest.
Y'all, it's so bad over there.
She just said y'all. Y'all. I can't believe she is Ukrainian because she's got a lot of very, very Texas in her. She's got a lot of Texas type mannerisms and speech. The Garlean spelling. Yeah, it's Garlean. Did she just say y'all?
Y'all, it's so.
She goes y'all. I can't believe that a Ukrainian would talk like that.
So bad over there in WoW. I don't think they know how bad it is. They're so used to it. They're so used to the job balance being so bad, the jobs being so imbalanced, that let me show you something I found. Okay, this is a spreadsheet that someone made, and it says the mythic spec.
Yeah, I got to show you this spreadsheet because it's this part of the video is really good. We talk about
history.
we talk about balance, and it shows like kind of the history of how classes fared.
Above or below average. What these people did is they looked at every single class and spec in the game, and they looked at how on average how well did it perform.
So this is actually really interesting. So this shows like all the classes in the game through different expansions: Warlords, Legion, Battle for Azeroth, and then overall. And it shows like, you know, green numbers obviously is it's showing plus or minus damage to the mean average, I guess. And so it just shows you that, for example, like survival hunters in Warlords of Draenor were absolutely horrendous. In Legion they were pretty bad. In BFA they weren't, you know, they were always under the mean average, right? So overall they were, you know, and you can see the best are at the top. So like Fire Mages across these 3 expansions kind of averaged out higher end. But what's interesting about it is how many of these specs are below average. I'm like, I wonder what that means. That if there were this many were below average, that means that the ones that were above average must have been, you know, way above average. But it doesn't look like these numbers look weird to me. They don't look like they add up. But anyways, the point is the balance in WoW is pretty awful.
In each expansion over the years, so that you can maybe take a safe bet. You can pick a safe job or spec that's probably not going to be underpowered in the next expansion. Survival, way at the bottom, so that's not been a very well balanced spec, so you should probably not pick that one. And here's Fire Mage. Well, that's probably safe, because that...
Where do I have moments to go from the team at 9 Ivies? Let's see where the 2 engineers are safely on their way. Lieutenant informs me that you were instrumental in the mission's success. Had you not found Engineer Biggs when you did and helped us to route the Garleans. There it is, Armet, Garleans. Yeah, you got it, Garlean Empire. So, yeah, it's just there's the Garleans and there's Gridanians. I just think, I hate it when they pick names that are so similar. What was the other big one that did that? It was Lord of the Rings. The other instance of that always drove me crazy was Lord of the Rings, and you can guess it was Sauron versus Saruman. And whenever I was reading the novels, right, it was always hard in the beginning to remember which one was which. Sauron, Saruman. Those names are way too similar for 2 big characters who, you know, I don't like it when people do that. Pick a different name that's a little bit more different. That reminds me that you were instrumental in the mission's success. Things might have been on very different if you hadn't helped out, and all this before you were even inducted into the order. You were well on your way to carving out a fine career for yourself beneath the Twin Adder standard. Okay. First officer stands ready to complete your induction into the ranks. Protocols that apprise you of who we are and what we do. Okay. Yeah, that Saruman thing just drove me nuts, Reptilian. The Order of Twin Adder is the grand company of Gridania. So what started this conversation is I just felt like Gridania and Garlean was a little similar, you know, and maybe they could have gone with slightly different names. Brings together martial, economic, and technological resources of our nation, and we might stand strong in times of direst adversity when our very survival hangs in the balance. Our order was formed in the days before the calamity in readiness to fight the Garlean Empire and combat the beast tribes and their primals. Needless to say, our struggle continues to this day. Elder Seed Seer Connie Senna, which is that one girl with the staff that we saw, she's one of the original Heroes of the Light. As a Supreme Command of our forces, under her wise leadership, we protect the people of Britannia and the sanctity of the 12's wood. As the entwined servants grace our standard, let forest-born strive as one with friends far from afar to ensure that peace shall ever reign in Britannia. And in doing so, we honor the will of the elements, and theirs is the will of the wood. Of course, the reason I picked these guys is because, you know, I love forests and the wood and all that stuff. So. Now they're going to add a third similar name? Oh, great. Now then, Meadowfall. I ask that you give us into your oath of allegiance in whatever fashion you see fit. What oath will you swear? Woods will be done. I shall strike down our enemies. My life for the Woods will be done. So you know the words of our grand company, that as well. Bound by common belief, let us strive to preserve all that is good in this great nation. By the power vested in me, I assign you the rank of Serpent Private, 3rd class. Yonara, woman of the Order of the Twin Adder, go forth, private fall, and do that which brings peace to the Twelveswood and honor to our name. Woohoo! Woohoo! Meadow! Yay, Meadow! She's really did it! She did it! Uh-oh. Infilia needs me. An officer of the Order of the Twin Adder contacted me with news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Fall. I have no doubt you are eager to make acquaintance with our new comrades, but I would ask that you pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, though, you are now a Serpent of Gridania. You are no less a Scion. Pray return to the Walking Sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends there who would very much like to meet you. We shall be waiting. So I'll keep you any longer. I was just speaking with the High Servant Commander before you depart. He may provide you with assistance on your journey. Okay. Quest accepted. Oh, now we're gonna get our mount. Reptilian, you're taking off, dude. All right, Reptilian. I'll see you later, man. This quest must be completed in order to proceed to the end of the main scenario. This is the Mount quest. Finally. I want to make sure and get my mount after. So I should go talk to... I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't talk to this guy first? Yeah, it is very counterintuitive. Ooh. Look at this shoulder. Look at this shoulder. It's got like a unicorn head on it. On it. So talk to him now, but wait to do what he asks. Okay, gotcha. I've been working tirelessly, but tell me, have you ever felt you couldn't get to your destiny quick enough? Perhaps you could do with some legs, personal chocobo. You have to be issued your own bird, or you have yet to be issued your own bird. Given your civil talents, you should be able to tame one in no time. Change company seals with the quartermaster. Okay. Yeah, I like the music in Ul'dah. I like the city music of Ul'dah quite a bit. And I like the music in... I like a lot... Most of the city musics I like. You know, so... But I haven't found, like, a favorite one yet. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with the tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Meadow. Now, when last we spoke, I said that I wanted you to meet some friends. Did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you have already met. Taro, please show them in. Oh, it's these guys. I'm Biggs. And I'm Wedge. I just imagine that's how he says it. Wedge at your service. Magitech-driven contraptions such as airships grow even more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. Yeah, I equipped some upgraded gear, and then I did my glamour thing, but it didn't work. It didn't, even though it made the little sound effect, and I was in a major city, it didn't seem to apply it to the shoes. So, and then I had already saved my set, so there was no way for me to go back to the other set. So, I don't know if I have to go back to my inn and go to the glamour chest to fix it. I'm not quite sure how to fix it. It's the 25 piece. Yeah, you're talking a foreign language to me now, but let's finish this. And so we request the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happily family continues to grow on behalf of Sands. I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. It's a single piece. Oh, is it for 2 slots? Maybe that's what it was. A chance to stand with you in fact, future realm. Never have I known such a film. It's such happiness. Yeah, you're correct. That's what happened, is it did this. So let's put this here. No, it's not those. Not those. So yeah, now I'm all confused. Because I don't even see the other leggings. Wait a minute, that's the problem is oh, that's the problem. I probably had the right leggings. It was... These were, I think, them, right? And then we just need to grab the feet. Which were... these. There we go. Now we got that, and it's not too bad. Now we want to save this. Reassign gear. So problem fixed. But it's not the best. It's not the best stats. You know what I mean? I gotcha. So yeah. So I don't know why you wanted me to come here first before I did the chocobo.
Having set aside the formalities.
Is that because this quest is going to send me back to where I was?
We have a favor to ask. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like Gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramuh's existence is well documented, the sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primal.
In short, it is essential that we approach the sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
So now should I do now should I do the Chocobo quest? Am I okay to do it now? I'm all confused. Okay. Actually, why is it? Well, it looks like I can't do it because it's red. Why is it red? If it's red, I can't do it, can I? Ah. So if I do these hunting quests, 2,000 seals, huh? Man, I don't remember this being that difficult. Like, I got the chocobo mount on my last character. My last character was, of course, my last character was not even. I don't remember it being that difficult to get, so I'm not sure what. I don't know. I'm a little confused, but maybe, you know, I think what it probably was is on my last character that I was playing, the only other character I've ever played, I did a lot of just the regular quests, like the non-MSQ quests and stuff. And just probably by doing those quests, I probably ended up killing maybe a lot of these mobs. But I don't see... I don't know how to go to the areas that have the mobs I need, right? Like, how do I find these monsters? Like... Oh, it does tell you. Eastern Thanalin. Shit, these are all like Eastern... Well, let's see. There's the Bramble Patch. Yeah, I did a lot of fates too. Yeah, I did a lot of fates, yep. But I just remember getting the mount was really easy. I don't remember there being any kind of like a gated content or something that I had to do before I got the mount, you know? Oh, okay. That's probably... Yeah, I did a lot of fates. In fact, I probably did like a lot of fates, you know what I mean? What's this icon mean, this blue one? Do you know what that means? I had that next to my name once. I think it means that you're in a queue for a dungeon, right? Maybe? I think that's what it means. Why is this person's name orange? Yeah, so I was right. Why is this person's... Oh, that's you. Holy crap. Oh, like, I ran right into you, dude. I was like, what? I'm like, why is this person's name orange? It's because you're on my friends list, right? Is that why your name is orange? Yep. Okay, yeah, so that your name's orange because you're like on my friends list. You got some weird looking gear here, dude. And you got one of those weird gun sword thingies. Those are so weird. Those are very bizarre. Yeah, I figured that's what it was. Oh, if it isn't Private Fall reporting for duty, that's the Z I like to see. Gwinnett was in need of adventuring prowess. Are your little birds sings true? No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the self. Curious beast tribe that calls the depths of Twelvewood home. Twinners of the same mind. This is precisely for the reason that the Sylph's relation to the primal Ramu has raised a flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there even be a sliver of chance that the summoning of the primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the Sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry. Do we strike at Ramu or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question. Yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Alright, then we're going to go talk to the Sylphs and figure out what's going on. It's a callback to the older Final Fantasy games. Gotcha. Ooh, this chick's got like claws on her feet. Look at that. Like her feet have claws on them. That's like high-rise shoes with claws, toenails. That's... And she's got like a tail, a big bushy tail, and that. What the hell? Look at this guy. You think it's maybe a PvP set? Probably PvP if it's like, her guild's like the god or title or something. It's like the goddess of war. So let's take a look at this Chobo thingy. Chocobo quest. Present a serpent issuance. I don't really know where I'm supposed to go for this quest. Yeah, sometimes you get quests and you click on them and it really doesn't seem to help. Like, I have no idea what they want me to do. Yeah, so like this quest, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. To obtain your personal, you must present Singar with a Serpent Chocobo issuance. This document can be obtained by exchanging company seals. Okay, so I've got to get one of these documents. But I have to buy that, I guess, with these seals. And to get the seals, we got to do stuff. I guess we'll just do the MSQ, because you said that might give me some of these seals. Yeah, the hunting log's too confusing, dude. The hunting log has me running all over the world. Like, if I go the hunting log, it's like, okay, this guy's in Eastern Thanalan Sandgate. So then I gotta go, okay. and then we're dealing with this map again, which I really, really hate the map in this game. The map in this game is so annoying. Okay, so zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Then we got to Eastern Thanalan, right? And then we want to go to the sand gate. Wherever that is. So here's where we need to go. So we can certainly do them, but we're going to be teleporting all over the place. You go to the part called the Aether's Nest, you can buy it there. Well, yeah, I don't want to do the fates if it's much slower. I can do the hunting quest, but like I said, I'll have to be teleporting all over the world, and it's going to cost me money. I don't have a lot of money, dude. I should have just had you give me like a couple thousand. You said how much money did you say you had? Like millions? And I was standing right next to you. I know, I just ran right by you, but I'm sure I probably got enough to hopefully afford zipping all over the world to do these hunting log quests. But we need to go to the Sandgate area for this hunting quest. I think we need these javeliniers, whatever. I'm just running around because I have no idea where they are other than it just says they're. Are you zipping around on your little chair? Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you. You're zipping around in that mount, dude. Alright, now I've got a little bit of money. I appreciate that. Thank you. But now I just gotta find these damn mobs. Let's see the bed. Sure. Is this like a dungeon? No. That's very weird. You have a flying bed. Or is that just like a... It is a flying bed. Dude, that's a little weird. That's... That's so strange. Alright, so I gotta find these guys though. Sandgate. So far, no luck. These hunting long quests aren't going to be very good if I go where they tell me to go and there's no mobs of the type I'm looking for. A flying bed mount. Alright, well, what's this? Maybe what are these little like orange pins on the map for? Maybe I can H. Is there any way I can like Sandgate? I'm at the Sandgate. There's no lizard men guys. Oh, they do? Oh, see? It's an Amalja encampment. This is where I need to go then. This is it. Here they are. Here they are. I don't see the... It says I'm in Eastern Thanalan, but I don't see the area. Right? We need the Heckler Imp. It says it's in the Halatali? Whatever that is. Oh, it's inside the dungeon. Okay. So I need to do this dungeon, it looks like. Yeah, so it looks like I need to do the dungeon. That'll get me 3 of these hunting log quests completed. Oh, no. Or blue quest in Vesper, which I don't even know where Vesper is. No, I don't want to travel there. All right, screw this. Still not attuned to that one either. Raminfila is. This game. He did a lot of teleporting around in this game. Yeah, you're right. There it is. Place boasts a storied history. Family laid ruin to it, though, as in most things now, Hatali is the shadow of its former self. In the dark shadow lurks wild beasts. Quest accepted. I always go the wrong way out of this damn city. $86 tickets. We got 86. We got 86 over here. Oh, and thank you to Rick. You know, Rick, I didn't get a chance to say thank you when you mentioned where I can buy it from. So I did read your comment. I just got so distracted. I get very distracted when I play this game because I don't know hardly anything about it. It's all very new to me. You know, there are those within that even the might of the immortal flames cannot tame. From the look of you, you must be Meadow. I received word from Nedrick that you might be along. By his recommendation, I grant you leave to enter freely. Okay. Why isn't it letting me select? Why is it not? I'm confused. Why is it not letting me specifically select this one? Weird. Well, I don't understand why when it says why it won't let me specifically select this one. I thought you could check the checkbox. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to come. You want to come in? Because one of your party members does not meet the duties, I don't think you could join for some reason. I don't. No, I don't think so. You think it is? I don't think so. Here, let's. We can turn my shaders off and make the game look like total crap. I don't think this has anything to do with the box. Ah. See, it's not letting me select. It doesn't have anything to do with my shaders. Oh, okay. I don't know why the checkbox is it. This duty roulette leveling. I don't know what this means. It's weird, dude. No, yeah, it wasn't my shaders. It was just whatever. This looks like the one I've already done, right? I've already done the Deep Croft, right? So... Uncheck it? Why would it? Okay. Yeah, so we did I think that's why it wasn't checking. It was like randomly picking one, right? How? That's why I was asking you about it, because I knew something wasn't right. That's why I was like saying, you know, something's not right here. No, looks like we're going to get 2 dungeon runs for the price of 1, so to speak. Yeah, starting to get gutsy. There's not a... It doesn't seem to be difficult. I need to put one of my UI elements back on though, because I can't see the cast bar of these enemies at all, so... Oh yeah? But I must be improving. I hope. Yeah. Wall-to-wall dungeon pulls. I think we're going this way, right? These enemies are so funny. I love the way those guys walk. It's pretty cool. Can we not open the barrier yet? Oh wait, yeah, we can. Good. Sure. Hmm. I'm going on left. Okay, so I need to go in here and clear. There we go. That's all it was. I just needed to clear that crap out of there, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable! I am going to watch the cinematic on this one because I've never seen it before. Wow, it sucks we had to run when we didn't need to run, but I guess I got experience probably. I'm going the wrong way. Don't mind me. I was like, why am I not getting threats? I hate how, like, when you leave the instance, it turns off your threat. You know what I mean? I don't like that. Because WoW doesn't work that way, so I always forget to turn it back on. I'm always like, ah. Looks like they go into the fire, right? I'm sure to explode. I'm not sure what's going on. They're running into the fire. Now what do you do? Now what do we do? Ah. Is that like it? Click the flow? Okay, enter the ether. Okay. Enter the ether flow. Okay. Camera's acting weird again. Where do we go now? Uh-oh. I tried to get him out of the water, but he's not coming, and he keeps summoning all these mobs. He likes going back to the water. I guess he goes back to the water to summon his ads. Multiple treasure chests. Guess these are an upgrade. Says they are anyway. Grabbing some coffee. Well, why is he bringing our... Oh, there's more? Shit. This did... I thought that was like the final boss, but guess not. You keep running into errors? Oh, that sucks, dude. Sorry. Oh. They fooled me with that. They filled me with a taste of nuts and honey with that treasure chest, man. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get me some treasure. And they sent out this ugly looking dude. Hmm. This is a big guy. I fear no evil. Let's rock! What's with all this flame on his feet? So what do I do in this fight? Do I just kill the ads? Yeah, it looks like that's what I do. Okay. Looks like that's what I do. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Achievement unlocked. To the dungeons 1. Duty complete. Alright. Ah. Everybody leave? And people just jump out of these dungeons quick. All right, so sorry about that. Thank you for your help again, Armit. I didn't mean to do the other. You got to get to bed? All right, man. I'll see you. I got to get to bed pretty soon, too. I got to work tomorrow. But thank you for helping as usual. I'm not sure how much of the currency I have now. Let's go to the hunter log. Look, we completed a bunch of them. So now I've got 1,181. Don't I need, what, like 2,000? I think so. That outfit's pretty cool. I'm not sure. Is that like your healer setup? Because you were like healing that dungeon. That's why we got the group so fast, you know. So I need to get to, oh my goodness, a bramble patch. I hope that's not another dungeon. Sylvan Scream, Bramble Patch, East Shroud. The guild icon you can see. Oh, okay. So click the guild icon. Okay. All right. So company seals. So are the company seals the ones I need? Don't I need 2,000 company seals, I think? So I need to figure out where to buy the thing, and I need to go to the part called Adder's Nest, and you can buy it there. Oh wait, these are level 50. Okay, I'm glad he killed that guy. Well, that was just that one that was level 50. Oh shit, another level 50. I'm in the right area, I just gotta find these mobs. Ranked him up to 12. Well, they were Sylvan, weren't they? Yeah, here they are. This one. Hmm. I think hopefully the Serpent Quartermaster is here, right? I think it's. I don't know where to. I don't know where to go for this quest. I thought I remembered buying this once before here. So I don't know where the Serpent Quartermaster is. Guild. Yeah, I don't know. says 9.87. Hmm. I don't know where I'm going. I think it's here. I think I have to go here, right? Yeah, here we go. Serpent Quartermaster. Here, this one. This Serpent Chocobo issuance. I think that's what I need, right? That this deed of order to an adverse company stables to receive your own Chocobo. Where am I at? Okay, here we go. Cool. I think we finally got this figured out. Then I'll need to see your Serpent Chocobo issuance. Yeah. So we finally were going to get our mounts. Oh my god. Everything appears to be in order. I'll be right back with your Chocobo. And here he is. The fellow's been in high spirits the past few battles. He must have sensed that his master was coming. Now then, maybe I'll show you. You'll want to give the noble steed a name. Oh, there we go. Whee! Now we have to give our Chocobo a name. My name is Meadow Fall. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Umesh. I'm surprised at anybody. I mean, I'm bumbling and stumbling and fumbling my way through Final Fantasy XIV because I'm pretty much a noob at this game. But I'm trying to, level to 70 or level 80, I guess, in this video series, and trying to figure the game out and figure everything out. I need to name my Chocobo. What am I going to call my Chocobo? What are we going to call the Chocobo? How about, what are we? We're the C. It's a twin adder. He's a bird, kind of. He's got big feet. I'm not terrible at picking names. I'm picky with picking names, I guess is what. I don't like to just give my mounts like stupid names, you know. I could use the names from Black Desert. Nah, let's see, Addles. Addles, the Chocobo Mount. Addles. Warlord. That's the name of a mount of another streamer I know who actually rides horses. He's got a horse called Warlord, but this isn't really a Warlord style mount. Let's call it Rust. We're gonna call him Rusty because he's got kind of rusty colored feathers, so we'll call him Rusty. Name your Chocobo Rusty, sure. Okay, name your Chocobo. Dare say I like his name. His name is Rusty. Here is your very own Chocobo whistle. Do forgive if he doesn't respond when summoned in crowded city areas or monster-infested layers. Chocobos are stout-hearted creatures, but they have their limits. Rare license. Chocobo. Okay, so we can't summon him in the city. What's the rematch? So we finally got the Chocobo mount. And now we're ready to do the next class quest. So the next class quest would be Gladiators Guild. Whoop-a. We also need to. Before we do that, let's take a quick break and let's.
That one's usually like pretty.
Let's go back to.
Like this is not.
Let's go back to this video on the 15 ways Final Fantasy XIV is better than World of Warcraft. That way I could drink my Coca-Cola here.
This is not how you're supposed to play the game. You're supposed to just pick the one you think is cool. Trying to place your bets on what spec is going to be performing normally. I'm speechless. And all I can do is, thank my lucky stars that in Final Fantasy XIV they actually, balance their game. Next up, music. So often you'll see me on stream doing a trial or a raid, and I'm like rocking out and I'm singing while I am doing the trial. And that can add a whole nother level of difficulty
I like her shirt. I love this little rabbit on top of these skulls. That's pretty cool.
To do the mechanics properly while singing and learning the lyrics to the songs. God bless Soken for your incredible work on the music in this game. Next, the complexity of jobs and rotation flow. So probably it's kind of difficult to compare these two.
I'm not sure if I'm going to agree with her on this one. This is the one thing at the complexity of the jobs, like the rotational flow so far, like from what I've seen in Final Fantasy XIV, the rotation of your skills, like it's really kind of bland and boring. And there's not, like I've talked about it before, but I always felt that Terra had the best combat as far as the skills felt like, yes, there are chain skills, but they felt like you never were always going to execute them in the same order. It was always situationally based. It was like each situation might require certain skills to be executed because you have the time at that moment to do that rotation, but then you had to do a dodge. Then you had to move. There was always, and I know there's moving in raids here from what I've heard. You have to move around, and we've seen it in the dungeons. I have to move to get out of the way, but the rotations are executed in such a slow fashion because of the very long global cooldown that so far, my biggest disappointment with Final Fantasy XIV so far, right now, is really the combat. The combat's very slow. It's not very exciting, and it's not very challenging. really. But I know that probably will change. I know that we get more skills and stuff, and I'm sure that when we get more skills, I'll enjoy it more. But as it stands right now, combat to me is a little bit lackluster.
Because the games operate very differently with very different feeling GCDs, but all the jobs in 14 have their own unique, like they all feel very unique to play. They all feel different, and they all have this complexity. I think even the most simple jobs in Final Fantasy 14, like Dancer or Red Mage, have more going on than a lot of jobs in World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, a lot of jobs have a priority system with pressing your different buttons. But in Final Fantasy 14, it's more like, okay, here's the first part, now here's the
The way she says Final Fantasy 14 always cracks me up because she says it so fast. Final Fantasy 14! It's just she really says it quickly. Listen to how she says it.
Pressing your different buttons. But in Final Fantasy 14, it's more like, okay, here.
And it almost like she sounded like she said Falsy 14 and Falsy 14. It's just how she says it is so funny.
With pressing your different buttons. But in Final Fantasy 14, it's more like, okay, here's the first part, now here's the second part, and here's the third part, and here's how they all link together. The rotation flow that you have blends in beautifully with the encounter design. You might find that on many different jobs, your abilities that you need for certain mechanics are coming up at an exactly right time. It just feels like all the stars have aligned and you are doing everything right. So yeah, feels great to play, and it feels great to play in a boss encounter. Gear, this is a big one. Collecting beautiful gear in Final Fantasy 14 will...
She said it again. Final Fantasy 14.
Appreciation of gear in WoW. Like, you will not be able to enjoy robes.
Yeah, the gear in WoW is
ever again after you play Final Fantasy 14.
It's pretty bad.
Pants and robes and stuff are flat textures that look like a lot of them are just spray painted on, and all the beautiful hand painted textures in the world can't change that. I know in more recent pieces of gear in WoW, they have added some more 3D elements, but the limitations are still quite obvious. The Covenant gear that they've shown, you can see these
Terrible.
robes.
I hate the Covenant. It's just
like
awful.
Always have. You get real spoiled on all the various flowing robes and all the different.
Yeah, and these the shoulders, like, man, the gear in retail WoW's terrible. I mean, I don't play retail WoW, but I always buy the expansions because I want to check them out. I'll go through them. I'll walk in through the zones a little bit. I'm always interested to see what the zones look like. But the gear is it's just so ugly. It's so cartoony and bulky. You can't even see the character. You can't even see this character's physical form, like their body. You know, I can't even see, is this a thin guy? Is he a fat guy? I can't tell because he's got this, what looks like an oversized piece of gear that doesn't even look like it fits his body. It's very hideously ugly.
Different ways that a robe can hang off your character and be cut, all these different ways. It's just, there's no comparison. Final Fantasy 14 gear is a million trillion times better. I only wish collecting it was as easy. Next up, community. So Final Fantasy 14 is well known for having a very nice and friendly community, though that's being able to just click on an Aetherite and show up where you want it to be is so much better than hopping on a griffin or a wyvern or whatever and just walking away and like go do something else, make some tea or something while you wait to finally get where you need to go, or play a mage, or like be thinking, okay, well, if I teleport to Dalaran, then I can use the Dalaran portal, and then the portal can take me to this other portal. What a mess. It's so much better just teleport straight to where you're headed.
Yeah, the Aetherite crystals and the teleportation locations in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm not going to say it the way she says it. Final Fantasy XIV, she says it so fast. I can't even say it how she says it. I think I even put a comment on this video. I said, it sounds like she says Final Fantasy XIV. I said, well, you say Final Fantasy XIV, it's kind of funny. You say it so fast. It's like Final Fantasy XIV. That's how she says it, Final Fantasy XIV. So she doesn't really finish final or fantasy. Final Fantasy XIV. So that's her way of pronouncing it. Excuse me. But the way that you teleport around the world in Final Fantasy XIV, it reminds me so much of Skyrim. Because in Skyrim, it's basically just, once you go to a certain area and you open up that area and, it opens up those, I don't know, and Guild Wars 2 has it too, where it just opens up fast travel, basically little fast travel locations. And normally I don't like fast travel locations, but in this particular game, because of the fact that there's a lot to do in the world, Even though you're zipping around, there's so many people playing the game. There's so many people in each zone doing so many different things. It's not like the world is dead, because in World of Warcraft, the way they do it is really bad. Like once you get out of the level 0 to 60 content, you really never go to those zones again. Like when you were playing like Wrath of the Lich King, you were never in like Kalimdor hardly ever. You were always out in the Wrath of the Lich King continent, you know. And then when they went on to like Cataclysm, it was a little different. But you know, a lot of times they would add they had new continents, you know, Legion, and stuff like that. You know, Battle for Azeroth. These are new continents that they add. So you're always playing in the new continents. So no one's hardly in the low level continents except for when they're leveling up low level alts, which in Final Fantasy XIV, you don't need alts really, because your character can play every specific job, every specific class you can play on one character. So it's much better the way they do it in Final Fantasy XIV as far as teleporting around the world. It seems like fast travel, and yeah, it is, but it really helps. And the maps in Final Fantasy XIV are pretty awful. I don't like the maps. I hate the map system in Final Fantasy XIV is probably one of the things I dislike the most. I like maps like Guild Wars 2. The Guild Wars 2 map, I think, is my favorite of any MMO. I love the map in Guild Wars 2. It's very easy to navigate, and it just the way it zooms in and out is just fantastic. So moving around the Guild Wars 2 is probably one of my favorite, map systems. I think it is my favorite map system. Like, I don't like how here, when I go to a map, I hate how this, if I move this, like here it's working correctly. It's really weird. Here it's working correctly, but a lot of times when I drag this around, it actually doesn't stay in the window. For some reason, it's working now, which is interesting. But I've had a lot of problems where this doesn't work. Here's an example. See how this map, it comes outside of the frame. I don't like that. I'm not sure why they did that. It shouldn't do that. It should do like what we just saw, which is that when I move it, it stays, it's still in here. Nope, see, even this one doesn't. It's just that this map was so big. Yeah, so the map should go to the edges and stop right. Should really stop here. And then if I went down to the bottom of this map, it should stop within the frame of the window, however big this frame is. That really annoys me. The other thing that annoys me is that you can't right-click on the map. Like most map systems, if you have a map like this, and EverQuest 2 also had the map system that really annoyed me, the map system in EverQuest 2. But a lot of map systems will have it where if you right-click, it'll zoom out. So on this map, it doesn't have that. Like World of Warcraft has that. So I could right-click somewhere, and it would just zoom. It would zoom out further out. But to here, you have to click this button, Display Region. So you have to kind of zoom out. You can center map on player location. That's actually kind of nice. Turn on/off transparency. I'm not sure. I think I probably just really need to play around with the map a lot more. You can lock the map. And then, of course, there's... This seems kind of silly. Why do you need this when you've basically just got it on your scroll wheel? So this is really not needed, and I don't know why it's there. You do have coordinates built in, which is kind of good. You can see here's where I currently am, and up here is where the mouse cursor is. So if I put this right on top of me, the number should be pretty much identical, and it is. See, 9.6, 11.5. Down here, 9.6, 11.5. Okay.
Headed. Next, the reputation grinds, I feel, are much, much better in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, the reputation grinds in World of Warcraft, they're pretty awful. I mean, in most cases.
We have Beast Tribe.
I don't know how they work in Final Fantasy, so it'll be interesting.
That you can try to grind for. But the grind is not too bad, and it usually involves a series of quests where you will get to know more about that beast tribe, and has a little story.
So there's a story.
You didn't have to get exalted on this character. This is the one that's gonna make it impossible for you to go back to World of Warcraft. Possible for you to go back to World of Warcraft. This is the one that's gonna keep you here. No logging off to get on a new character, and also no jobs that are locked to any one race. So you can pick any race and play all the jobs.
So this one's basically you can create any race, and that character can play every single class in the game, and you can do it all on the same character. You don't have to create alts. So alts kind of go away. I mean, there's really no reason to create multiple characters unless you just want, a character of a different looking race. You don't, I've got my Makote or whatever. If I want to play a character that's, a guy character or whatever, that's the only reason you would create another one. So that, I like that. I like that, and also the professions too. You're not locked into just one. You can get all the professions on one character. So not like in World of Warcraft, you can only have like 2 major professions. I could have like mining and blacksmithing, but I couldn't also have engineering. I couldn't have all 3. But where in this game you can, and that's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
And you won't be worse at a certain class or job because you picked the race that's not optimal for that class. Don't have to worry about that. Hey, you can't have imbalanced racials if you don't have racials.
You don't have racials.
Next, obviously bunny girls. I don't know why I threw this in here.
Bunny girls. Yeah.
With no additional comment. It's got to be on here, clearly. Okay, next. Character customization and...
Again, this video is 15 ways Final Fantasy is better than WoW, and of course, most of these are pretty obvious. The character customization in Final Fantasy is better. The gear in Final Fantasy looks way better. The story in Final Fantasy is way better. So it's like when you think... I played World of Warcraft from beta on Doomhammer, so I've played WoW ever since it came out. Even before it was released, I was playing WoW. So I've played it for like 17 years. So when I first tried Final Fantasy, I didn't like it. I didn't like the combat. I didn't like the slow global cooldown. I really didn't like the story, like all the dialogue. So I kind of quit. I got a character up to level 29, and I just kind of was like, I didn't really like it. So this time I'm trying it again, and actually this time I'm actually liking it a lot more. And I think I was just last time I tried it. I don't think I was as open to the all the dialogue, And this time even though I wasn't as open last time, I enjoyed the quests. I thought they were really good. I just, for some reason, I didn't have the patience for it. But this time when I tried it, I think I knew that, World of Warcraft, I don't really like WoW anymore. So I knew that let's really give this game a better chance, let's really, give it a better, handshake. And so far, I actually like it a lot more. But what's interesting is when you look at a video like this, and she says the top 15 things in Final Fantasy that are better than World of Warcraft, it's actually pretty easy to say, wow, wow, that's, these are some pretty important things. You're talking about like class balance in Final Fantasy is good, whereas class balance in WoW is really bad. The gear in Final Fantasy is way better, than it is in World of Warcraft. Being able to play all the classes on one character, not have to roll multiple alts, that's actually really cool. So these are actually pretty pretty big things. And so when you think about it that way, you're like, wow, of course the game probably could be better than WoW, or could be something you might really enjoy, because there's a lot of things here that are enjoyable features. Being able to make a more customizable character, having gear that's really cool looking. That always is fun, right? So those things are. It's interesting to me that I didn't do more research probably on Final Fantasy earlier. Like the first time I played Final Fantasy was probably about a year and a half ago. First time ever was probably about a year and a half ago. And the game's been around for since 2012 or something. So it's just kind of funny that I waited that long. I think I always thought it wasn't really my style of MMO because because of the art style and maybe the more sci-fi elements to the game that it feels. I just wasn't sure. I like the high fantasy, the traditional, orcs and elves and very medieval looking things. I tend to like a lot better. So, anyways.
And uniqueness. Far more options. And probably good. Cool, idle poses, depending on maybe on your job that looks so good. You have much better looking animations.
Yeah, so she said the animation effects in Final Fantasy are better than WoW. I'm not 100% agreeing on this one here. I don't like if I go here into Final Fantasy XIV, right? Like when I look at just even like that guy, like this ability, you know, it looks okay. It's a little bit, to me, it's a little jarring because it's not very, the animations don't fit with a very fantasy, like medieval looking, you know, I prefer more like realistic looking, you know, kind of attacks. I don't know if there's a good example. Like WoWs are pretty simplistic, but I like them. You know, they're not over the top, which in my opinion is kind of good. Actually, if you look at Aeon, wonder if we can find. I don't want the character creation and customation. The Warlord. So if we go to YouTube. Actually, I've got a video on this. I don't know why I'm searching for this. You know what I mean? I played Aeon the beta, so. So, Aeon to me is a more, like the combat in Aeon's, you know, like I said, I haven't played Final Fantasy far enough into it to really like give a final judgment on the combat, of course. But the Aeon combat system, and this is by the makers of Bluehole, you know, Bluehole Studios, the makers of Terra, I like way better. I mean, I like the Aeon combat way better than Final Fantasy. But let's take a look at the actual animations, right? So see, that's what I like. When I took that mace and I just did like a little simple overhand swinging strike with it, it was very simplistic. You know, there was a little bit of like that motion, you know, like, you know, just you can see like the mace flying through the air, so there's like some motion trails. So let's see if we can just watch the mace, how it moves through the air. You see some sparks fly off the mob when I hit it. And there's like my big swinging, there's a big like swinging animation. So there's some pretty decent particle effects, but they're not like over the top, I don't think. You know? And those are special maneuvers I'm executing. And of course there's flying, which is awesome. I love flying. Or gliding in this case, right? But just those swings are very basic. I wonder if I can get a good. Fun. Still fun though. Literally had to take all the. Try it again. I mean, the flying system, fantastic. I was hoping I want to try to pause some of the actual swings so you can see the actual animations. Just go ahead and get in combat, joint. Like there was just a basic swing without any kind of flashy. That's just, you know, just there. Actually, right there, you saw some. You know what we can do. Of course, not sure where I'm going. I'm hoping I do the overhanded strike here. Here we go. Yeah, look how cool that. So that's that strike where she swings up with the mace and it throws this kind of fiery beam of energy. And you can see the nice stagger animation on the enemies as it goes through them. They all kind of shook. They were staggered by that. And now you can see that she starts to go into her big spinning animation. Again, it's pretty. There's quite a few particles, but it's not like over the top. You know, it's enough to show you where the effect is, like, you know, how far out of the circle it's going to do damage, where the mobs would need to be to actually be getting hit. This is kind of the edge of it here. But this is more along the lines of what I like combat-wise, to what I like the animations to look like. So I don't really 100% agree with what she's saying here with the animations and effects. I think they're way too over the top in Final Fantasy.
And battle effects. Like, the emotes look so good.
Now, I will agree with her on the emotes. The emotes in Final Fantasy are fantastic. So if you go into these emotes here, they're really good. And there's so many of them. Oh, I have the serpent salute. But yeah, the emotes are fantastic.
Good. Cool, like idle poses, depending on maybe on your job that you're using or your race. Like racial idle poses are really cool. You have different facial expressions, and the combat animations are amazing. And I guess this kind of dovetails with the next.
Yeah, all this kind of flashy stuff, like when you hit somebody here, and it just this huge amount of, it's very sci-fi looking. It's like this looks like I'm shooting like a photon blaster at somebody. This doesn't look like what would happen if I took a two-handed axe made out of steel and hit somebody with it. This is not what it would look like. And that's why I don't really like these types of animations in MMOs. 'Cause to me, I would rather see the blood. I've got a two-handed axe made out of metal, and I'm hitting somebody with it. I want to see the cuts and the blood and the gore, and that's more realistic. And because it's more realistic, to me, it's more immersive, and that's one of the biggest important qualities on an MMO.
Next one that I wanted to bring up.
But this is very common for Japanese, Korean, Chinese MMOs. They like to have these flashy animations, for particle effects, which I'm not a big fan. If you look at Ashes of Creation, they're also doing a lot of really, really super flashy, which I'm not the biggest fan of that.
Just G pose. So you do a combat animation, and
I don't know what G pose is, so let's try this G pose thing. This is all about like changing settings so you can get good screenshots, I guess. Anyway, so that's G-pose. It's kind of like in Skyrim, how they have different types of things you can go into, different like camera modes. It's like a screenshot mode basically.
And then you can go to G pose and you can look at it really closely. Really gives the player a chance. Pretty involved, and you're going to be thinking about what you're doing, and there's a level of mastery to be achieved in crafting and in gathering too. So Final Fantasy XIV is
here's the number 15.
Random exceptions.
Relatively bug-free.
Normal for there occasionally be bugs in a video game. For the most part, it's quite bug-free, and I don't really experience major glitches or bugs or any problems like that in the game ever. They handle that because they do all the QA themselves, and they do it well. There's no PTR, there is no beta, there's no alpha, there's no players doing QA work.
And this is, and actually Bellular Gaming was doing a video that I watched just today where he talked about that. The PTR is actually a bad thing for World of Warcraft, is what Bellular was saying. And I've always thought that. I've always thought the PTR was bad because the one thing in MMOs that's really kind of, it's good and bad is that, like, there's so many gamers that'll get in, that'll go into the PTR. It's like you can't always guarantee that the people that are going into the PTR and testing stuff and leaving comments are actually the people that really should be doing that. You know what I mean? The people that really understand what they're doing. That's why, Final Fantasy XIV, they're doing the QAT. They're doing the testing because they understand what needs to be tested. They have experience with testing. They understand the process. you can't ask people who have never. I'm a software developer, right? I've been writing code since 1983, I think, was when I first learned how to program. So I understand completely when you start talking about testing, even non-code testing, but you're testing the systems. And so really opening up with a PTR and having players come in and test stuff and leave feedback and is really doesn't work that well because you have to, as a tester, you have to understand what you're looking at, you know. So not having a PTR is I think a really big advantage. I mean, really, they need to go in and be saying they need to talk to the gamers for Final Fantasy to see what they want, like what systems do you want? Do you like this? Do you like that? But they don't need you going in once they find out what the gamers want, what kind of systems they want, what kind of new classes or abilities. Once they find out what they want, then they can develop it, test it themselves to make sure that it works correctly. Then they can release it to the gamers in a in an expansion or pack. And if the gamers don't like it, they can patch it, right? They can patch it, and that's apparently that's kind of what they do in Final Fantasy. So I think that's definitely I agree with her there once again that that's a big advantage. Devon Seventel, this is madness. It's all this. He's been arrested by the Brass Blades. They claim he was planning to assassinate the Sultan. It's utter nonsense. He has no motive to do so, and whatever they've said about the man, he would never resort to using poison. The Alakron must be behind this. They have failed to kill him time and time again. Now they're reaching out to their monetarist allies. I didn't want to believe Waymond when he said they had such influence. But wait, that's it. If anyone can help us, it's Waymond. He has a reputation for knowing things he shouldn't. Find. Actually, what I want to do is, and it's really late, so I need to get to bed, but there is one thing I would like to do. I would like to learn the blacksmithing and the mining, and I can't remember like all the stuff I have to go through to do that. Fisher, rogue. So you want to be a fisher? So the blacksmithing's on the upper level. I thought it was on the lower level. I am level 31 currently. I've attuned to all these things. Oh, yes, I have. So, I don't need to join the blacksmith guild to actually be a blacksmith, do I? I don't think so. All right. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go through and learn how to do blacksmithing and mining. So I have to go. I'll probably watch some guides or something like offline on that stuff. But right now we're level 31. You can see here level 31 gladiator. But yeah, as far as classes, I don't know anything. You know, just know gladiator and that's it. These are like combinations received. I got 6 hearts, I guess. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna head to bed. I hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you again next time. Peace out.